Okay, guys, we are live. It is Monday night. It is football night. I have a legend with me, Owen from the Koponpodcast, ready to rock and roll. Owen, how are you?
A little bit disconcerted. You referred to me as a legend. Not yet, Dave. There'll be statues of me by the time I retire, but I wouldn't put myself in the legendary bracket quite yet. But
Well,
I'm very well.
the autobiography isn't out yet, but it will be soon.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But no, I'm very well. Thank you very much. I just had a carbonara. My girlfriend's parents are over because she just got her doctorate, which is very exciting. She's finished her PhD, so they're here to celebrate. And I made a carbonara because her dad's Italian-American and he loves a carbonara. So the pressure was on. It was like a penalty situation in the last minute, but I James Milnered it.
I thought you were going to say you penanded it over the bar.
Oh, no. This was no Penandes. This was definitely a James Milner into the right side of the goal. Excellent. So that was nice. I'm having a very nice day. How are you? You okay?
Fantastic. Well, to be honest with you, a little bit, let's say, like a tire on a long journey, a bit deflated. That 3-3 at the weekend, which we're going to recap, of course, before the Porto talk. I just thought we should have won the game. I know you can look back at it and say they had chances, we had chances, but I think that Salah miss when it was 3-2 to make it 4-2 kills the game and gives us 3 points. What do you think of the game?
Well, I disagree with you because I think if you score 3 goals away from home, any particular match week, 3 goals should be enough away from home. It was the defending that was more... troublesome for me, and I think that was where the 3 points were dropped, and it wasn't anything to do with not scoring a fourth, to be honest, because I think anyone can miss any chance.
Backtrack on that. I know exactly what you're saying, and actually, that's the first time I've actually seen Van Dijk and Matip rattled for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Credit to Brentford.
What?
Credit to them. Credit to them. They were really good. Brentford. They were Ivan Toney and Mbuema, really good players.
No, absolutely. But I just, now listen, hopefully it's just a one-off. I mean, you don't want to see them rattled as much as that again, obviously, because, I mean, we have a tough game tomorrow night. People might be writing Porto off, but it's a good Porto side. But we'll just go back to the game again the weekend. Obviously, Mo Salah getting his 100th goal. It was 152 games, something like that.
151. It was he beat Roger Hunt's record, which is 152.
Unbelievable. Games. I mean, it is unbelievable. He could have had a hat-trick in that game, to be fair. But I still think, listen, we're still on top. I know Brighton play Palace tonight. If they win, they go top. But realistically, will they stay there? Probably not. But, I mean, if someone would have said to me, you'll have this certain amount of points at this juncture, I probably would have took it at the start of the season. From all the naysayers and all the people giving out on Twitter and lack of signings and everything. So I say you're in a similar boat.
Well, I mean, was it Bill Shankly who said, "Look at all the problems we've got at the top of the league"? It's it's not that bad. We're undefeated, 4 wins, 2 draws. I'll take it every day of the week.
Yeah, but to be honest, you'll always get the naysayers and the moaners and the, do betters, won't you? You'll always get them.
Well, my best friend's brother said once, maybe I've told you this before, if Jesus came back from heaven, there'd be people criticizing his sandals. So, the naysayers will be there, always.
That's true. And by the way, if I have a bit of a sniffles or a cough tonight, don't worry. It's not COVID, but it is a bit of the Russian flu. I have a bit of a chesty cough. But
oh, dear. Get well soon. What's that? I'll be
okay. But listen, we would still stay on that game because, listen, for the neutral, it was a brilliant game. Let's be fair. I mean, if you're a neutral watching that game, you're not a Brentford fan, you're not a Liverpool fan, you're just watching that game. Give me the beer now, because it was one of those games you look back at probably at the end of the season, go, oh my God, what the hell was happening there? We had a few of them. If you remember the 17-18 season, we used to have one of them nearly every second game. It reminded me of that season, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, end-to-end stuff, madcap defending, and terrific match. Great game of football. I'm not so down about it. I'm really not. I think it's Brentford are a brilliant team, and they're going to give everybody trouble this year.
Yeah,
they really are.
I actually changed my mind on them. I had them as certs to go down. I think they might. Really? Now, I think they might have it. I mean, Norwich are look like they're doomed already. But I mean, Brentford, if they can play like that, they have a chance. They'll have a chance staying up.
Oh,
I mean,
I think they'll
Tony's
be
a handful, isn't he?
comfortably.
He's an absolute handful, man, Tony.
He's apparently, he said on Instagram, he's a boyhood Liverpool fan as well, and I would love to have him at our club. He's got the right attitude. He's one of those late bloomers, you know. It wasn't until he got to Peterborough, that was his 7th club. Now he's on his 8th club. It wasn't until he joined Peterborough after, you know, teams like Scunthorpe and things like that, where he actually started banging the goals in, and then Brentford took a chance on him, bringing him up from League One to the Championship last season, and he was, or was it last season? And he got 31 goals and 10 assists, which is a record. And this season, banging them in. Was it 2 goals and 2 assists in 6 matches for Brentford? Brentford will be. It's not just the brilliance of their attacking play. They're very clever and they're very well organised. And Thomas Frank's doing a brilliant job. So I think they'll be comfortably mid-table. Not even close to relegation.
Yeah, no, and I mean, they mix it up. I mean, people were calling them Wimbledon the other night, but they actually play football. They're not exactly Wimbledon. They're big lads. No. They have a big base, don't they? Big, tall lads.
Yes, lots of people 6'4", 6'5". Yeah, absolutely.
But as you say, they play football. But, I mean, listen, that game's over. We got the point. We didn't lose like Man United. So, I mean, it is something to put in the bag. We're top of the league. Everything's rosy in the camp. We have a big game tomorrow night. Now, it's in Portugal. What's the stadium? The Dragon. You probably know
Dragão.
The Dragão.
Estadio Dragão. Yeah.
Dragão, which is probably dragon in Portuguese or something to do with dragon. Anyway, let's hope Porto aren't breathing fire tomorrow night.
Yes,
they're a good side though. Owen. I mean, they're not. I mean, we've a great record against Porto. We know all about the record. We're like a hoodoo against them, to be fair, in the last few seasons. But I think tomorrow night's going to be different. I think it's going to be a tough game. What do you think?
Well, I'm just having a look at their records here. I mean, they're undefeated since the 7th of April in all competitions, when they lost to Chelsea 2-0. That was at home. That was at their stadium. But they're undefeated since then. Loads of wins, quite a few draws. They drew with Atletico Madrid 0-0 in the first game. So that's obviously, to draw at the Wanda Metropolitano 0-0. It's a great result, really.
They should have won that game. They should have won that game. Do you know that, don't you?
I didn't see the highlights.
I've seen the highlights. Okay, they had a goal disallowed that their own player fell and hit his hand, and the ball was going in. All he do was leave it, and it was in the net. And Atletico Madrid keeper pulled off 2 great saves near the end. They should have won the game. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. There are lots of nils as well. They got nil. I don't know. They conceded a big test they had just before that game was Sporting Lisbon. That finished 1-1. That was also away for Porto. And then since Atletico Madrid, they also drew 0-0 with, I can't pronounce it, Moreirense. Moreirense. Yeah. And they beat Gil. Oh, no, sorry. I'm misreading it. They beat Moreirense 5-0. Good Lord. That's quite a misread for me. They beat them 5-0, and then they beat Gil Vicente 2-1. I don't know, two little Portuguese.
That's the weekend,
teams,
wasn't
it? Yeah, exactly. That was the 24th, so that was 3 days ago. Yeah.
Who's the main man? Luis, what's his name? The main striker for Porto.
Yeah. Everyone was looking at him, weren't they? And I can't remember his name, but I know the one you mean. Yeah. Luis something.
Yeah, no, but I'll tell you what, it is going to be a really, really difficult game, and I'm just hoping we can tighten up and not play as badly in defence as we did against Brentford, because Porto will punish you. They'll punish you. You know what I mean?
Luis Diaz. Yeah, he's the top scorer in the Portuguese league. So he's got 5 goals and 1 assist from 7 matches. So that's obviously.
Yeah, he's a proper player. He's an absolute. Just a few people in the comments here. Alex from the Anfield Lark. How are you, Alex? Hopefully you're well. Eamon Kelly. John Moore is in the house. Hopefully you are all right. And Liz Golden, all the way from the Golden State of Florida.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Hello, everyone. Great to have you with us.
Yeah, we're just going to have a nice little easy Monday night chat on the big game tomorrow night, of course, Porto in game week 2. And then it's Atletico play AC at the San Siro. Is that right? I think it is.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. It's an interesting group. It's going to be a tough group. It really is. I mean, as I say, Porto should have beaten Atletico, in the game week 1. I mean, I'm saying you were lucky against AC. I think we played very well against AC Milan. We two sort of mistakes and we let them in, but we did really well to come back. But we're a different animal in the Champions League, I think. Anyway, well, for tomorrow night, who do you think? Do you think there'll be changes? Because remember, we've Manchester City on Sunday, the big one.
That's the thing. I mean, especially getting a victory in the first match against Milan was huge. Because we do have the possibility now to rest people if we need to. Who can we rest? I mean, Fabinho. It was an uncharacteristic performance from him because he was arguably at fault for 2 of Brentford's goals, or at least he wasn't great for 2 of them. Yeah. You can't just blame him, of course, but I wonder if he could do with a rest at some point. He surely can't play every single match in the number 6, but whether it's tomorrow, I don't know. He'd probably go with a strong team and just play them until they get injured. I don't know, in terms of the midfield. But I would bring in Costas on the left. I thought Robertson was okay against Brentford, but I just really like the Greek guy. And if he plays well again, it would be his third performance, is it, this season in the big games? And in the Premier League and Champions League. And I just would like to see more of him. As if he plays well tomorrow, then he's got the opportunity to keep his place against City. But if either of them starts, I'm very happy. Otherwise, in central defence, what are you going to do? Because Klopp's been rotating the central defence. I don't know. What would you do?
I think it's a dodgy one. I think tomorrow night's very important because if you've got to win tomorrow night, it takes a lot of pressure off tomorrow night. If you get any sort of a good result, if you lose the game, the pressure's back on. I mean, we got the win. We're on top of that group. And Atletico play AC. AC will give Atletico Madrid at San Siro. They'll give them a game. You won't beat AC easy there. That could end up a draw, no problem. So both of them will only be on. Well, Atletico will be only on 2. AC will be only on 1 point. And if we beat Porto tomorrow, we'd be 6 points. So I think you got to go strong. But I have a feeling he might play Canate tomorrow. I really do. Because remember, with Van Dijk, because I think Matip, just because of his injuries, he can't play. Because Matip, we want Matip for City. I think he wants a fit Matip for City.
Yeah, it makes sense. I would do that. But
maybe
I mean,
maybe even Gomez.
Bring them both in. I mean, Gomez needs match time as well to get some rhythm back as well. And it's always usually dodgy to rotate your central defence because normally no other team has 4 top quality options. I mean, or 5 including Phillips as well. Yeah, Phillips is a very good option there.
But I mean, listen, it's all about options though, and it's great to be even talking about bloody options. I'm not going to give out and moan that we've options, especially at centre half, because we know what happened last season. Now when we were giving out because we hadn't got options and we were playing our centre midfielders at centre half, and that's where the problem manifested itself into the season that we had. Really, let's be fair. But I'll give you a quick take. I think he will mix it up. I think Tsimikas has a very good chance of playing. I think the 2 centre halves of VVD and Matip, definitely one of them will be rested, possibly 2. I think he plays Trent. He's young. I mean, he's a young lad. Should be able to play every week, to be fair. Midfield is a big one for me. I don't think he can rest Fabinho. He's that important to the team, especially away from home in a big game like this. Can't rest Fabinho. Henderson can't play every game. What do you do? Drop Hendo? Thiago's out, isn't he? Thiago's out.
Yeah, Thiago's out until at least after the international break.
I think this would have been perfect. I think this would have been perfect for Thiago, this game, do you? I would have been a perfect game for him.
Yeah, well, Brentford as well would have been perfect for him to have that, be the best technical player on the pitch. I mean, he's always that, but yeah, I mean, he's a wonderful player, Thiago. You could say every game is made for him because he's just so good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's very, very difficult, the choice in midfield. I don't know what people in the chat think, but I would possibly go Fabinho, and play him against City, and then it's an international break again, so hopefully a couple of weeks off, he can relax.
Yeah.
Because Tite's still not going to play him for Brazil for some reason. But yeah, I'd go Fabinho, Henderson, and Jones. I'd keep the same midfield three. Although there's
Jones
something.
impressed second half, didn't he? Lovely goal, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch all of the game, to be honest. I've only seen the highlights and I've seen loads of stats. So I think there's is that a mosquito or something buzzing around me anyway. Yeah. So I think I didn't actually want to, but I looked at the stats and there's something that I want to ask you because you watched all of the match the other day. In midfield, I noticed that there were remarkably few passes that were completed by Liverpool's midfielders. And did we have a problem in the whole match of keeping the ball in midfield?
Yeah, do you know what we were doing? We're giving it away cheaply. And some simple little 2-3 yard passes that we would do were either falling to their player or going out of play. And it was they were actually hassling us on the ball. They were pressing. Mm-hmm. They were really full of energy. They had nothing to lose, to be fair. The Brentford playing Liverpool. I mean, anything they can get out of the game is going to be a bonus, isn't it? At home, the crowd were up for it. But I was really impressed with their press. And they pressed us and did everything that we were doing. Some nice little intricate stuff we did. But I think the simple stuff we didn't do well. It was the bloody simple stuff. Even the defenders, the likes of Matip and Van Dijk, when they tried to get the ball out of the box, instead of hoofing it, like, say, 50 yards, they were hoofing it, but it was 20 yards. It was just going to outside the area, and you're bringing pressure back on yourself because it kept on going to them. Hoofing it, coming back. And, so, the midfield wasn't great. As you said, he looked rattled. He looked rattled in that game. It really did. For the first time in a while, the whole team looked bloody rattled.
Since Villa, maybe? The 17th?
Yeah, similar to the Villa game, except we didn't lose, but it was a similar sort of performance, real up and down performance. We could have had 5 or 6 goals in that game. We got 3. Could have had 5 or 6. We didn't take chances again, but as you say, 3 goals, you shouldn't be letting in 3 goals, really. Before that, we'd only let in 1 goal against Chelsea. They'd only let in 2 before that, by the way. They'd only let in 2 goals up to that game. So they had a decent defence as well. We scored 3, could have 5.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's the thing. That's the encouraging thing. I mean, Mo Salah's form is unbelievable. Sadio Mane is looking dangerous. But I don't know, who would you play? Who would you play up front, Dave?
Because, I think Bobby has a show. I think Bobby has a real chance. He loves Bobby in European nights, that. Away from home. I think Bobby's a good record against Porto as well. I have a feeling, I know Jota's Portuguese and all that, but I think he might go Bobby, Salah, Mane and bring Jota on last 20 as an impact sub. I really do.
You wouldn't be tempted to play Jota on the left and keep Mane on the bench?
No. I think he's going to go with the famous the three amigos that he's always had and trusted in the last 3 or 4 years. And I think Jota, being Portuguese and all that, I think there's a chance he might be on the bench, like what he did for us part of the last season. He was He was better as an impact sub, wasn't he? Coming on, he nearly always guaranteed a goal.
He's brilliant. I mean, I think he's great anyway. But it's wonderful to have those 4 options, isn't it? Wow. So it's a tough one, But I mean, you're saying that's what you think Klopp would do. Is that what you would do though?
That's
if it was
what
up to you.
I like Jota. I really do. He looks like he's a nightmare to play against. He reminds me like he's all action, always looking to make some lovely runs, intelligence. See how good he is in the air. See that header he got? Oh my God. The guy in front of him was like Statue of Liberty height. I mean, he was that big. It was a great ball in from Henderson, but the header was a peach. In between 2 6-footers. Bang.
Great positioning and great cross as well. Perfect cross.
Well, I'm just thinking my mind is on Sunday as well. I know it shouldn't be, but that is a big, big game. And your mind has to be nearly double jobbing on this one because it's a big game tomorrow. It's Champions League, away from home, never easy, no matter who you're playing. And then a huge game, you might as well say, on Sunday. We know what City have done. They beat Chelsea. They're impressive against Chelsea, to be fair.
Unbelievable. I just saw the stats. It's scary. 0.19 XG for 0.19 XG for Chelsea. They had basically a couple of pot shots, and that's all they managed in the whole.
They didn't give them a bleed. Didn't give them a second. Didn't give them a. City could have more goals. To be fair, now the thing about City was, I still think I said at the start of the season, whoever finishes above City wins the league.
Yeah, if anyone can.
It's either City or whoever
I think
finishes
right.
above them, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I still think that. It could be us finishing above them, but I'm just saying, if we finish above them, we win the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can. What's interesting about City, what I've sort of figured out, because I've been obsessed with how, I look at XG, but XG against as well. Expected goals conceded, and City are always at the bottom of the list. Like they've got the best organisation, they've got the best defence, and in terms of how they play, it's very interesting. I saw little bits of the game against Chelsea, but as soon as Chelsea had the ball, City were basically dominating and attacking. And as soon as Chelsea won the ball, and if they tried to play out, like most teams, what you do is you play it out to your right back or your left back, and then you try and go up the wing, right?
Yeah.
That's what most teams do. If you're playing shorts, you've got little triangles, but you try and work your way out of defense via the sides of the pitch, right? But what City do so well is they always manage to get sort of an overload. So it's normally like 3 versus 2 on the sides of the pitch. So when that defender plays the ball up to the the player in front of them that's on the sides of the pitch, they've got 2 City players, maybe even 3, to deal with, and they're there to snap the ball back really, really quickly. And I don't know what the solution is, but I just think maybe with our with our brilliant fullbacks, I'll play Robbo this weekend against City because he's got the switch pass. I think instead of being able to just work it up the line, or maybe inside a short pass, if you're breaking out of defense, a long crossfield pass is where the actual space will be, and that's just something I noticed from watching City closely, and how they stop teams from attacking them when they are such an attacking team themselves.
That's why I think game management is going to be huge for this game. Like, who do you play with your eye on Sunday as well? I know Klopp always says take it game by game. It's always game by game. That's the way it is, obviously, because you don't know who could get injured tomorrow night or something could happen. So, but I think Simic has a very good chance of starting. Give Robertson the rest. Have him on the bench in case you need him. Then start them against City.
It makes sense.
And as you say, I think it could be 4 or 5 changes tomorrow night. Centre half, one of them, possibly 2 could go. And there'll definitely be a change in midfield, and possibly even Bobby up front. I mean, it could be that much changes. But I say, it's a huge game.
It's important as well to note, you can bring it back to talk about Liverpool, but PSG are playing City tomorrow at the same time as we're playing.
Yeah.
So City, to have Chelsea, PSG, and then us at the end, it could be very good for us, and that they could be more knackered than we are.
Yeah.
And towards the end, the last 15, 20 minutes, there could be more spaces than usual against City.
Hopefully. That's the way you want it. They've got a big enough squad. They can't be moaning about it either, though. They have a big squad. Share the stream. Yeah. I love this from Liz. Look, share the stream, tag a friend, please, and thank you. Thank you very much, Liz.
Thanks, Liz. Exactly. Thanks for all the comments. Yeah, interesting stuff there.
Carl Erasure from Germany. How are you, Carl? Hopefully you are well. Ibu has not shown his real skills till now. He should get a chance. I think he's in with a shout to start tomorrow night. I really do. Kanate. I mean, you can't want to mess around with the defence too much, because then you get the situation of, well, they never played together and you lose 1-0, or, you lose 2-1. Well, the excuse was our defence never actually played together in a big European night. Do you do it? There's a bit of risk involved, but I know Klopp likes his squad, trusts his squad, so whoever he puts out on the pitch, he's sort of trust to do a job, doesn't he really?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And Ibu is a brilliant player, but I'm just looking at Porto, and I think about them and how they will. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead there.
Got something to show you, just from whoscored.com, which is a marvelous thing. Hang on.
Whoscored.com.
Okay. There you go. Can you see
it? I'll click on it now.
FC Porto. There you go. So what they've got here, team statistics on who scored. It's really interesting. They give you some interesting things if you don't know the opposition, like I don't, because I don't watch the Primera Liga, right? So they've got 11 Open play goals already, 3 from set pieces, 1 from a counter attack, and 1 penalty. But here's an interesting thing, I think, is where they attack. Okay, so they attack down the right.
Wow.
More than they attack down the left, and they hardly ever attack down the middle. Okay, they also like to dominate in Portugal, so they're only 21% in their own third of the pitch, and the rest of the time 79% either in the middle third or in the opposition third. So you can see that in Portugal they're very dominant. But this is something that I've noticed in our games against Porto, the way that we've, almost surprisingly thrashed them on a number of occasions, is the fact that they're so used to dominating that when another team can keep the ball away from them, they look a bit. That's when they look
haven't
really
got a plan
lost.
B, basically. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're just not used to it. It's like a shock to the system,
Yeah. See, the league, you have to think about the Portuguese league. There's probably 3 teams in it. I mean, if you've Sporting Lisbon, you've Benfica, you've got Porto, basically. Porto have been, as you say, dominant for the last 10 years in that league. And it's similar to probably the Scottish league. You take Celtic and Rangers out, there's not much there, really, And then,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, the Premier League's it is the strongest league in the world, probably, anyway, at this moment in time. Spanish league has sort of dropped off. But, I mean, I think tomorrow night is very important. Away from home, just first 10, 15, keep it tight. They're going to come at us. They will come at us. They'll be looking at that Brentford game going, we've half a chance here. You know what I mean? Depending on who we play or whatever. But.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you can see their shot maps there, and it's 67% in the 18-yard box, 24% outside of the box. So I mean, I'd fancy Alisson Becker to deal with those long shots, and only 9% in the 6-yard box, which is kind of normal because it's hard to get into the 6-yard box. So there you go. I'm going to stop sharing because that's all I wanted to show you. But it's quite interesting that, so we know a little bit about what to expect.
So down the right-hand side, they love the right-hand side. I'm sure Klopp, if he's watching Klopp, check that out. But all his staff are going to be watching that.
Of course he's watching.
I am sure.
Yeah.
Liz Golden, I predict we will go ahead early and continue to dominate the match. Liz, I absolutely would love to agree with you there. I mean, any type of win tomorrow night would be huge. 2 wins out of 2 would be beautiful starts, in a tight group. It's got to be a tight group, and it really is. But Klopp will prioritise the City game. He will make 3 or 4 changes to the start lineup. Well, he will make 3 or 4. I think he will make 3 or 4 changes anyway. I think he'd make 3 or 4 even if it wasn't City the weekend. You know what I mean? Would you? If it was just a normal league game.
Yeah, I mean, I would always prioritise the league. Yeah, anything. But I mean, I don't know, because with the sports science people, I think you've got to play your best team available if they are available. So you speak to your sports science people and you say, can Fabinho? That's my first question with the sports science people is, can Fabinho play tomorrow and Sunday? And they'll do all the tests. They'll take all the white blood cells or whatever they do, whatever they analyze, It's unreal. Yeah, I mean, it's science. It's real science. And then with that data, you can say, well, he's got more of a chance of playing better against City if he rests tomorrow. So then I would rest him. And I think that's how, I assume that Klopp works as well. I mean, obviously I don't know, but
it's crazy.
He's into his sports science.
As you just said there, it's nearly a DNA sequence and are you ready for the game the weekend? I mean, it's literally down to nano bits, isn't it? It's right down. They all wear those those heart monitors and all. They wear them underneath the jerseys. They're taking
sports brands.
Yeah, sports science. It's just huge in the last 10 years. So
yeah, it's fascinating, and I think it's right. I mean, you have to work with data, work with knowledge. I think it's really good. I think it's a really a smart thing to do. I don't think it's what Arsenal's recruitment team does with the weird signings that they seem to make. Although kudos to them for Ramsdale, who's doing quite well. But
that's more like the 80s, general, the 80s film Weird Science. Remember that Weird Science?
Yeah, exactly. Are you saying they created Aaron Ramsdale? Yeah. But no, it's something that we need to do. And as fans, we don't have, we can talk about who we would pick, and that's great. It's good to talk about. But at the end of the day, they're making the decisions based on what they see every day and the knowledge they get every day from all the tests. So there you go. The orange away shirts were better. Yeah, not the yellow ones. Oh gosh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What did you think of the yellow kid on Saturday? That yellow away.
I think it's why we didn't win the match.
Do you know what I said? I hope it isn't the curse of the yellow jersey.
Well, yeah, that's right. I think it's. I think it could be why we didn't win the match, because you're not going to feel like cool, confident, and like composed if you're dressed like a sort of what do they call it? A J cloth? What do they call it? Those dusters.
Yeah,
those
yellow
dusters.
I mean, yeah, I'm not impressed with it. The home jersey's okay, just about okay. The away jersey, the cream one or the stone one, I like. It is nice. It's a proper stylish jersey. That yellow one.
It is nice, yeah. But no, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the home one's
basically
growing on me, but it's still the home one is Roma, the away one is Portsmouth away, and the third one is just it's a food restaurant thing. But there you go.
Submarine.
Well, even that would be better. But yeah, Eamon Kelly.
I like that from Eamon Kelly. Shankly's sports science was to feed the players a big steak. Yeah, that was a different world back then. That was like a smoke at half time and a glass of whiskey, for God's sake.
That's right. Brian Clough, before taking Forest to the European Cup final, they famously, the players were nervous. He could see they were nervous before their first European Cup final. He said, "Lads, don't worry about it. We're going to stop for lunch. We're going to have half a pint of beer, and then we're going to go and win." And that's exactly what they did. They stopped maybe for dinner or something. I don't know. They had half a pint each, and then they went and won the European Cup.
Only half a pint?
Helen? I think so, but I'm not sure. Maybe not.
I'd say some of them had a pint now, to be fair. A pint to prove in the match. Helen is saying, I can't stand the yellow shirt. It's so embarrassing seeing them wear it. They're not going to wear it too many times. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to wear it too many times.
Don't you think it could have an effect on the mentality of the players if they know that, we look stupid here and people are going to make memes out of us? It might be a bit distracting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. But look, that game, yes, same and true. Steak from Ireland before every game, says Carl. Wouldn't mind a steak before every game. Medium well, by the way. Medium well is my steak. No. What are you, a steak man, are you?
There's my favorite restaurant. I'm in Paris. People are, in France. They're very particular about their food. And there's one steak restaurant here, and he puts on the steak boards. He's got all these different choices, different places where they come from, and different sort of cuts of steak. And he puts next to them, rare. He only serves it rare, and that is the only way to have steak. Is rare, and anything else is just wrong, Dave.
Well, that's fillet steak you're talking about.
Well, yeah,
not sirloin steak or T-bone. You wouldn't be having them rare.
No, I don't know. I'd barbecue it all. In fact, I'm more or less vegetarian these days. But yeah, I do love a barbecued side of beef. Is the greatest thing. But anyway, we're getting distracted, aren't we?
We'll have a cookery show next at 8:00 live.
That would be great. Yeah, that'd be great.
So give me your starting 11. Give me your starting 11. Never mind what Klopp's going to do. Who do you play tomorrow night in Portugal?
Alisson Ramesses Becker in goal. What a guy. Trent. I'm going to go Ibu and Gomez, and Costas on the left.
Okay.
I am, and then in midfield, I'm gonna. It's very difficult midfield. Are you going to rest someone? Again, it depends what the sports scientists say, what they tell me, if it's my choice. If Fabinho can play against City and tomorrow, if they tell me that, then I'm going to trust them and I'm going to go Fabinho. Henderson and Milner. I'm going to save Henderson, actually. I'm going to go Fabinho, Milner and Jones. Yeah. And then up front, I'm going to go Jota, Firmino and Salah, because I'm going to rest. I think that'll be that he'll hate that Mane. It'll make him really angry, and he can take it all out on Manchester City on the weekend, and he can get a hat trick.
I do like it. That's like a menu in a restaurant where you just go, will I have it or will I not? But I don't think I'll have it all. What I might do for my starters is Allison in Wonderland in goal. Then we'll have, I think Kanate starts tomorrow night with Van Dijk. I think Matip's rested. I think Simicus with the DHL deliveries comes in. And then
Trust us.
Trust us. Deliver us. And in midfield, we will have the fabulous Fabinho. We will have Jones, and we will have Milli Vanilli. I think he deserves to start again. And up front, I just think Bobby No-Look, Mo Salah, the king of Egypt, and Mane in the mirror with Jota as a super sub type of thing. Haven't even mentioned Minamino. Haven't mentioned anything yet.
But we'd be happy with them all, to be honest, because they're Klopp's team.
Origi.
Bring out the div. Bring him out. I mean, he was brilliant.
Anything's possible the way Klopp's picking now. I mean, there could be even one or two other little divs or Minaminos thrown in there, Good.
Yeah, Klopp is very good at being unpredictable, and kudos to Divock because he was absolutely brilliant. There's something that I noticed in previous seasons with Divock when he came on and maybe he's not feeling it. He's mentioned himself how he's got to be feeling it in order to be happy to play well. He's actually said that himself, and he's been pressing, but not with his heart. You know what I mean? Like he's not that in no way has he ever been a lazy player. No. He's always been pressing, but this season, although it's very early, he's only had 3 appearances or whatever it is in League and Cup and League Cup, but League Champions League and League Cup, but he's been pressing with his heart. His heart's in it, and this is just this fraction of a second that I think he's been more intense than ever in his defensive work, and that's something that I've found is really great to see. And then everything else that comes with it, the unpredictability of the guy, that assist from Milan for Mo Salah's goal, that little scoop chip over the back of them, they were not expecting that. No one was. It was beautiful. Yeah,
I don't think he was expecting it.
It's supposed to be a back pass.
Yeah. But no, I'm looking forward. It's usually a good game, Liverpool Porto. There's a few goals. I'm going to go 2-1 to Liverpool. To be honest, it doesn't really matter about scorelines. It's all about getting the points on the board and getting the 6 points out of 2 games. The other game I think might end in a draw. I think Milan will give Atletico Madrid a game tomorrow night. I really do at San Siro. That could be a draw. That'd suit us as well, to be fair.
That would be ideal. 3 points. If that happens, that's the ideal situation, isn't it? If we're on 6 and then our next rival's on 2, that's unbelievable.
That would be, What do you think tomorrow?
But I think, I'm going to be, I am optimistic with. I think I'm going to go, but I'm going to go another crazy, 3-2. Luis Diaz.
Wow. My heart can't take it. I can't take it. Can't take it anymore. These 3-2s are 3 3s or 4 3s. They kill me.
I know it's hard though. It is hard. I totally understand.
It's too much. They can ruin your Saturday. You know what I mean? Absolutely ruin your Saturday. Eamon Kelly, I can't see Mane being dropped for this game.
Yeah, fine.
It's hard to see what's going to happen. As we just said, Klopp's become unpredictable because we have few options now. We didn't have options where he had to pick more or less the same 11 every bloody game. He'd no choice. But now he has a few choices, so he can make those decisions. And especially with the big game, we all know about the big game on Sunday. Now it is City. That is a game you do not want to lose. Let's be real. It's similar to a Man United game. It's a game, fans and everything. And for the whole season, you want to give yourself a good representation of the Super Reds on Sunday. Helen Rayball's going 4-0 to the Reds. Wow. I take that all night long. I was going to say Lionel Richie. Carl Rager is given 3-0 to the Reds. As I say, any scoreline, once it's in Liverpool's favour, would do. But scoring 3 goals is a trend at the moment. It is a trend. There's trees everywhere. We're like a forest. Trees everywhere. Eamon Kelly, 2-2 for me, or a narrow win. A draw wouldn't be the end of the world now, away from home. But you have to be confident. You have to be going into the game saying you're going to win rather than saying you're going to draw. You go into a game saying you're going to draw, you probably lose.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the players, I mean, fans, we can think what we like, but yeah, no, I think the players have to go in there with the mentality to win. But it's not even the end of the world if we lose. To be honest, I think if we win our home games, then we just need 1 point from the. If we lost tomorrow, we would need 1 point from our away trips to either Atletico Madrid or Milan to guarantee us to go through. But even with 9 points in this group, it might be enough anyway to get through. And it's all about getting through to the next.
10 is usually in the 10 is usually enough.
So we've already won the first one, so I'd back us to get 2 wins and a draw from our last 5 matches, or if we lost tomorrow.
We've got a tough double after this. We've Atletico home and away.
Yeah, it's all right.
Which is
Yeah, it'll be difficult, of course, but I think it's all right. I think we've got their number. If Fabinho and Henderson can stay fit, we got their number, and the rest, of course.
Sinead Sweeney is very confident for tomorrow night. 5-1 to Sinead.
5-1, good one.
Mane hat trick, and
excellent.
10-0 from Millie. Wow, I would take that all night long, as Lionel Richie once said. Hit the like button, guys. We're going to stay on for another few minutes. I just want to ask Owen what he has coming up for the Koponpodcast. You know we're on YouTube as well, Owen.
Yeah, we've got this. Yeah, the new show. I'd love to have you on there at some point, David. Whenever you can.
I'll have to talk to my agent now. I've got a new agent. His name is 007.
Very good. Yeah, they're giving you 007. I'm like 0025 or something. But no, it's the Premier League preview shows every Friday, 7 p.m. UK time and live. And what the idea is, we've got Liverpool fans, yes, but also fans from other clubs. And I really want to sort of bridge this, the divide from fans from other clubs. So last week we had Man United fans. Really interesting because it's like the opposite. It's like we're so similar. You know what I mean? Liverpool fans and Man United fans, we're so similar because we all love our clubs.
We're like aliens. Are you mad? The only similarity is we're human. Let's be real.
As much as they want us to lose. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I had a conversation with a United fan last week on our YouTube show, and he was saying how under Klopp, he's been I don't know if you can still hear me. Can you still hear me?
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
So he was saying under Klopp, he's been looking at his phone with 10 minutes to go, and Liverpool are either drawing or losing, and then Liverpool always seem to score a goal in the last 10 minutes of the match,
like Ferguson. Like Ferguson.
Exactly like we used to do in the 90s and 2000s. We're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I know.
Van Nistelrooy scored again or whatever, Scholes has scored again in the 93rd minute. I used to ruin our day. Now we're ruining their days. And it's fun, the similarities between us. But anyway, United fans, City fans, hopefully this weekend, Dominic Rich, your friend, Dominic might be on to preview the City match. He's a City fan. And, Chelsea fans, anyone really, Leicester fans, Burnley fans. And there you go.
Wow. And the podcast as well. You can get your podcast, the Koponpodcast on Spotify and places like that.
Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, if you're an Apple user, you can get Podcast Addict. Is one I like, but you can get it everywhere. Just search for Koponpodcast, and it's really nice at the moment. Dave, you've been on it. I'm very lucky to have you.
Been on it in ages. I was on it last year even.
Yeah,
it's just so much time doing. I've so much stuff to do. It's hard to time yourself down for an hour and say, right, I'll give you an hour to, I will do it again. There's no doubt about it because I like it.
Even if you come in and out, but that would be fine. Yeah, if it's 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever. If you can, it'd be great to have you back. But yeah, it's for Reds. It's for Reds all around the world. So we got people from Hong Kong and Portugal and America and Africa and loads of different places. Different continents. Different countries, different places all over. Yeah, this place, and it's for Reds everywhere. So it's free and it's ad free. The podcast one. So get on.
And it's for the LFC family, as you just said, who are in the house right now. Sinead Sweeney, Helen Raybold, Eamon Kelly, Carl Erasure from Germany, top guys. Now, just before we go, was going to say something else there, and it's just sort of zipped past my mind. But as I say, if I can get in anytime, just let me know. This thing about StreamYard is brilliant because you can send the link to somebody. They can pop in, they can pop out. You know, it's absolutely brilliant that way, isn't it? You're not tied down to anything. You can come in for 10 minutes, give your view, and say bye, and you're gone. You know,
totally. Yeah, exactly. And now I've got StreamYard as a platform too. So I'll send you some links.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Guys, before we go, hit the like button, hit the sub button, hit the Koponpodcast sub button as well. It's been a pleasure to have Owen live via Paris in the house, having a chat about the Reds. Big game tomorrow. Portugal, Porto, Liverpool, and then a huge game. There's going to be build-ups all over the place. Going to be more build-ups than like on a construction site for the big one next Sunday for Manchester City, Liverpool. It's going to be huge. I can't wait for that. So it's exciting times to be a Red, my friend, isn't it? Exciting times.
Oh yeah, these are great days. If ever you're doubting anything, just look at the league table. Look at a picture of Jurgen Klopp, and that'll brighten your day up. So
Exactly. So all the doom and gloom can just disappear on Twitter, Instagram, all the social media lunatics, TikTok fans, as I call them, can all disappear back into their caves and look at the Reds soaring high in the sky. Owen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave. It's been great.
Stay safe. And the comments, guys. Talk to you soon. Big games coming midweek. As I say, good luck to the Reds tomorrow night. I'm confident we shall get a result and go again for the big one on Sunday. Stay safe, guys. Cheers.